Hi, my name is Steven, and I would like to be your accent reduction coach. Let me tell you something about myself. I was born in Santa Monica, California, grew up there. I went to UCLA, where I got my bachelor's degree in French, and then I went to Washington, D.C., where at Georgetown University, I got my master's degree in teaching English to speakers of other languages. I spent most of my 20s teaching abroad. I taught English in a Moroccan high school, I taught English in a Mexican university, and I also taught English in an Ecuadorian university in Cuenca, Ecuador. So I know what it's like to live in a foreign country and to have to speak a foreign language. I've learned French, I've learned Spanish, and I've learned Japanese, and I can speak them all pretty well. I've also studied a little bit of Italian and Moroccan Arabic, not so good at those. But I do know what it's like to learn a language as a second language, to learn grammar, vocabulary, and especially pronunciation, to sound as native as a non-native speaker can sound. So, how can I help you? If you are a foreign-born professional living in the United States, I've got the background and experience to help you with that. At Cal State LA, I created and taught a class that I called Pronunciation Improvement for the Foreign-Born Professional. I taught that for over 10 years. Now, working as an accent reduction coach, I can tailor lessons specifically to fit the field that you're in, to replicate the kind of conversations that you would have with your clients, with your friends, with your coworkers. If you're a student, I have experience that will be just right for you there. At Cal State LA, I taught and became very excited about teaching a class in academic presentations. So we worked on creating the most effective PowerPoints and then on delivery, on sounding as natural and as native as you can when delivering a presentation. So if this is your focus, I'm here to help you. And I can also help you make sure that your grammar and your vocabulary is the way that it should be to give the best possible presentation. Finally, if you're an actor, I have specific expertise in this field. Not just because I myself have done some acting, I've studied acting, and also as a theater reviewer here in Los Angeles, I've had a chance to critique a lot of performances. I know what works, I know what doesn't work, and I know especially if you're a non-native speaker, the kinds of problems that you might have delivering a monologue or a scene or an entire script. And this is something that I can work with you on. I'm not a dialect coach. That's something pretty different from what I do. A dialect coach works with native speakers and teaches them how to pronounce like a native speaker from another part of the world, or like somebody who's learned English as a foreign language. So a dialect coach might help an American learn how to speak with a Northern English accent, or an Australian accent, or a French accent. That's not what I do. What I do is work from an English as a second language point of view. It's not the same for a native speaker to learn a foreign accent or an accent that's unfamiliar to them, as it is for a non-native speaker to learn to speak English like a native. So that's something that I'm particularly able to help you with. It's not just knowing how to pronounce individual sounds, but that's important, but it's not the only thing that you need to learn. If English isn't your first language, you may have trouble knowing which word in a sentence to stress, or the right kind of intonation to use, or you might have problems with English sentence rhythm. These are all things that can get in the way of your delivering the best possible performance. And I'm the person who can help you with that, I promise you. So if you'd like to sound more like a native speaker, what I'd like you to do is record the conversations that you can find in the description of this video, and record them on your cell phone, and then send me that voice recording to Steven@thestevenstanley.com. I will listen to your recording carefully, and I'll decide what it is that we would need to work on. I'll let you know your strengths and your weaknesses, and we can set up a game plan. You can study with me in a half-hour session or an hour session, whichever works best for you. There's no commitment beyond that first class. If you want to study for week after week after week, that's great. If you only want a few weeks or just one lesson, that's fine too. So, email me your voice recording and let's get started reducing your accent.